The left are currently up in arms because they're claiming that Jimmy Kimmel was cancelled, and I don't think he was, at least not politically anyway. The casus belli for this cancellation, quote unquote, is Jimmy Kimmel just lying on TV to, well, I would say millions of people, but it's not, but we'll get to that, to his audience. He literally came out and claimed that the assassin of Charlie Kirk was someone who supported MAGA and Donald Trump. There's no evidence for that. The evidence all suggests the opposite, actually. They seem to be an extremist left-winger, and they seem to hate right-wingers, and in particular Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was there. Apparently they provided an opportunity. This is the best information that we have at the moment on the circumstances. And this was all available when Jimmy Kimmel decided to go out and say, no, this is a MAGA shooter. What this was the product of a left-wing echo chamber. The first thing they did is go, oh, Utah, his family's Republican, therefore he's Republican, therefore he's MAGA, therefore this is red country, therefore this is a right-wing shooting of Charlie Kirk. It was a groiper. But the thing is, the groipers don't actually hate Charlie Kirk. They used to troll Charlie Kirk for being basically soft right, but they don't hate Charlie Kirk. The left did hate Charlie Kirk because he would get in their faces, he would debate them, and he would, in many cases, make them look ridiculous, and they would go away seething, and he became a hate figure in their community. And so Jimmy Kimmel parroting just lies, unsympathetically as well, I have to say. I didn't find it to be a very sympathetic portrayal. Has been used as a pretext to suspend his show. But I don't think it's really the reason that his show was suspended. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Donald Trump said TV networks who oppose him should maybe lose their licenses. Okay, yeah, Donald Trump says a lot of stuff. You remember he was about to invade Canada and annex Greenland and turn Gaza into the Riviera of the Mediterranean. Like, Trump says a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that he does a lot of things, often, to people's disappointment. And so Trump knows he's saying this, right? He knows what he's doing when he sort of drops these little bombs on people and then they're running around and then he's getting on with whatever it is he wants to get on with. He's a veteran at this. And you've got lots of articles like this, like Slate, The Guardian, Independent, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on, of left-wing media who are just like, oh my God, this is a five-alarm fire. Trump will not be satisfied until every media outlet becomes more conservative and obedient to him, rather than being more liberal and obedient to Joe Biden. I mean, literally, Biden was getting people deplatformed from social media by requesting it from the administration. And there has to be a court injunction to prevent him from doing this. But Trump says, well, I just don't think you should be able to do this. You're very mean to me, and you always have been. And let's be fair, he's not wrong. The media has been almost universally against him since day one, and completely uncharitably as well. I'm not surprised that this is an opinion he holds, but nothing really happened. And you're panicking over nothing because I'm going to show you why Jimmy Kimmel was fired. You have Conan O'Brien and all the other late night hosts going, oh my God, oh, this is wrong, and anyone with a conscience knows it's wrong. I mean, really, it's about numbers, right? And it's about the fact that actually you guys aren't quite as popular as you think. And the numbers are in, and we know this. And I'm going to show you just a comparison using my YouTube channel. Stephen Colbert was like, well, we're all Jimmy Kimmel, as if he'd been shot. Colbert, you remember himself, is on borrowed time because he's going to be cancelled as well. And so he's taking a stand for Jimmy Kimmel. And it's like, okay, but like he did say something that was demonstrably untrue, deliberately so. But again, this isn't really about free speech. This is really about your time in the sun is coming to an end. And then you had the shitlib class. Now, Chris Hayes is honestly what I'd expect. I mean, he just looks like a lesbian to me, doesn't he? Right? Like, he genuinely looks like a lesbian. But obviously, MSNBC host, he is as ridiculously left-wing as you can imagine. And he says things like, oh, this renders the First Amendment meaningless when Jimmy Kimmel's fired. But when Tucker Carlson is fired for similar things, like an editorial take that the network didn't agree with, he believed he could say anything no matter how disgusting and get away with it. Over time, that's not going to work out well for you. So it's totally fine. It's totally fine. And my God, are there a billion and one hypocrites out there on this, on the left? Because remember, the left were for deplatforming when they thought that they were the ones doing it. When Donald Trump was getting his account suspended, when all of the other people, oh, the God, did they love it. But we're witnessing a brazen attack on free speech from Elon, Trump, and MAGA. They said that they were free speech warriors. Well, you aren't the free speech warrior. And now, after years of getting punched in the face, the MAGA guys are like, yeah, we don't care. We don't care about your free speech anymore because you didn't care about ours. Free speech is basically game theory, right? If both people do it, then it works just fine. But if one side decides to start, you know what, I'm going to censor you, then the other side has to abandon it as well. That's just the way it works. It's just stock game theory. It's essentially some sort of like suicide pact. Either we both have free speech or no one has free speech. You don't get to have free speech and then demand the opponent has no free speech. That's not how it works. You know that's not how it works. You know that we know that you know. So shut your fucking mouths. Honestly. Just the irony of all of this. Oh, they're gathered outside of MNC. Oh, grow a spine. Don't cancel Jimmy Kimmel. This is fascism. Oh, shut up. No, this isn't fascism. This is capitalism. This is you not actually serving a market anymore. And we'll get to it. But I mean, you got everyone, there's always a tweet, because when they thought they had the reins of cultural hegemony, when they controlled the media, when they controlled the social media platforms, they controlled the corporations, and they control government, oh my goodness, they were in favor. I mean, this was during Trump's tenure, but they control a lot of other things, and they were totally in favor. They were totally in favor. They're speaking directly to millions without any oversight or regulation. It has to stop. His Twitter account should be suspended, says Kamala Harris. Yeah, we know. We know that's what you think. You are in favor of deplatforming those people who you don't like, who speak against you, because you get your ass kicked by them, frankly. That's why. When the right is actually able to communicate, the left gets BTFO'd repeatedly. And we know it because you're busy stealing right-wing memes about Jimmy Kimmel at the moment, as if he'd been shot. Like, get a grip, you fucking losers. And then you get this, and this is, I think, probably my favorite example of anything ever. This is probably, I think, the greatest Twitter thread you've ever seen, right? TikTok owned by a right-wing conglomerate. Twitter owned by a Nazi. Every TV station bending the knee. Anyone who doesn't follow directives getting sued in silence. America has never been great, but at least we had free-ish speech. What will we have left after this? And everyone's like, my brother in Christ, you literally wrote a book called The Case Against Free Speech. All of the people replying to this, just like, this is you. You fucking, like, the arrogance and hypocrisy of it is just, oh God, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? But it's just like, right, these people are shameless, absolutely shameless. They will deplatform you and write an entire book justifying why you should be deplatformed. Because for them, Stefan Molyneux tweeted, he was like, look, for me it's power, for them it's principle, right? And it's very much the, what was the South American dictator? My friends, everything. For my enemies, the law, right? It's exactly descriptive of how they are. Oh, now they're not in power. They're like, oh God, we're going to get this used against us. Oh, that's going to be rough. Oh no, I can't believe we don't have free speech. I can't believe we were relying on MAGA for our free speech. It's like, yeah, well, too bad. You decided to break the game. It was literally, like I say, a suicide pact. Either you both have free speech or no one has free speech, and it's about power now. And you made it about power. You made it about power. And so, okay, just, hey, P. Meskowitz, fuck yourself. Absolutely fuck yourself, right? And people are pointing out, well, hang on a second, he actually did violate the FCC regulations here, right? This rule prohibits broadcast licenses or permittees from broadcasting false information concerning crime or catastrophe if the licensee knows this information is false and the information was known to be false. It is foreseeable that the broadcast of the information will cause substantial public harm, which it is, and broadcast of the information does in fact directly cause substantial public harm, which I think it is. So actually, there is a legal argument, even though no legal action has been taken. And just to be clear, The Guardian tell us that the FCC haven't actually done anything other than talk. So again, the FCC are the regulator for this. And Trump did put a guy called, where's his name? Brendan Carr. right, in charge. And that's fine. That's his prerogative as the president. And Kara said, look, broadcast licenses are not sacred cows, and he would seek to hold companies accountable if they didn't operate in the public interest, which honestly is something that has to be done. Good God, do we have huge amounts of regulation in this country? Like, Ofcom is treated by the left as a fucking god, right? So don't complain in America when this happens. But anyway, since Kimmel's suspension, Kara said that Kimmel's comments were not jokes, but rather attempts to directly mislead the American public about a significant fact. Totally true. Totally true, right? But that's it. The commission itself hasn't directly sought these actions from broadcasters, as in the company got rid of Kimmel. Well, the FCC didn't go after them, according to The Guardian. And Kara's instead signalled publicly that what the commission would do is just not approve mergers for any companies that had diversity policy in place, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. So you're actually not being censored. You're just not being given the keys to the kingdom. And guess what? The Conservatives in charge, they don't have to. They don't have to approve things that you have to request from them. And they didn't come off after you and persecute you. You decided to get rid of Kimmel because he was shit. And you get, obviously, Barry Weiss coming out and be like, oh, no, the Democrats will do this to us. And it's like, but they've been deplatforming the right for years. They've been literally deplatforming all of us for years. They've been throttling us. They've been demonetizing us. And with Trump himself, they just took him off everything. No due process. No anything else. Ren here. The Conservative case for never doing anything in case your political enemies do it, they'll do it anyway. Yeah, they do this. This isn't new. Like, this is the problem with the sort of like centre-right liberals, where they're like they begin every moment anew, right? There's no continuity in their minds. Something happens and they're like, oh my God, this is the first time this ever happened. Dev's got this entire problem. Like, this is the first time this ever happened. There's not context that has led up to this point. And now MAGA's doing it. Oh God, it's the end of the world. Oh, MAGA are the worst thing ever. No. Game theory. You either both have it or neither of you have it. And they chose neither, so neither it is. It's too fucking bad. But, like I said, this isn't really a cancellation, right? Because actually, if you look at his ratings, they're not good. So, his ratings over the years have cratered. And in fact, in recent months, they've literally halved. But here you get the second quarter of the year, right? He averaged a total of 1.77 million viewers. That's not good, right? That's really bad. I mean, this channel that you are watching right now gets 1.5 million viewers a month, and I haven't got a budget at all. Like, I don't have a budget. I don't have a production staff. It's literally just me sat in my office with a microphone that I bought like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something, and a camera I bought like 6 years ago, and a computer that I bought like 4 years ago, and all of it probably cost a combined total of probably, the camera is pretty good, I have to admit, so probably about £3,000 or £4,000 for everything I'm using to make this video. My God, can I make video after video using all of this equipment? So on a per video basis, say I do one a day, like, it's got to cost pennies a day for me to make videos and post them to this YouTube channel and get 1.5 million people a month. These are unique users, by the way, not like monthly views. Obviously, the monthly views are like 5.5, 6, however many. It depends how many videos I post. But the point is, I have 1.5 million people watching me. He has 1.7, and I assume that this, when during the second quarter, it's average per month, right? 1.77 million a month. So, frankly, he's not doing great, right? He's just a little bit better than me, and I could probably get more viewers if I were to put more videos on this channel. Again, we get more viewers on the Load Seaters channel. Like, and again, this is just one channel where in the evening I make a video because I can make some extra money, because I need some fucking extra money because I live in Britain and Keir Starmer is currently screwing me for everything I have. Right? Jimmy Kimmel, in his prime, in his best, is getting 1.77 million viewers. Me on this alternate, just like mini channel, I'm getting 1.5 million. Jimmy, you're fucked. No one likes you. Your audience has cratered, and that's really the problem, right? The audience for late night television is cratering. And the problem is, there is a huge production budget that goes into late night television. Now, I don't know how much Jimmy Kimmel's budget was, right? I actually can't find that information. I guess it's not in public domain. However, we do know that Stephen Colbert's is out in the public. Now, Colbert is a bit more of a sort of luminary in these spheres, so I imagine that his budget is higher, but apparently his was costing $100 million a year to produce, and it lost $40 million a year. So he was making $60 million out of this $100 million production budget. Now, for me, I couldn't operate a year that way because I don't have $1 million, let alone $100 million. But I couldn't operate for very long at all if I was running something that had a deficit of 40%. Like, whatever, I'd be like, look, we've just got to reduce the budget to whatever you're bringing in order to just break even. I would have to make serious business decisions. I wouldn't be able to pay myself $20 million a year, which is what Colbert is getting. Apparently, Kimmel is getting something like $15 million. But again, I can't find the numbers publicly. But it's going to be something similar. Now, for example, Colbert only got 2.42 million people in viewership, whereas Kimmel gets 1.77. This is not great. But Kimmel's is probably a reasonably similar budget. It's going to be in the tens of millions, probably something like 50 or 60 million, and his audience numbers just don't really justify it. And so I'm not surprised that they're like, yeah, I think we're going to have to get rid of him. And the thing is, next year his contract was up anyway, and either they would renew it or just not, either renew it or not. And so I think that what they've done is just looked at the price of producing late night television, looked at the shrinking audience, because remember, he lost half of his audience this year, the shrinking numbers of people watching, and just made an economic calculation. Like, nothing legal had to happen, and nothing legal, as far as I'm aware, has happened. This is just Trump talking, and the people who produce this show going, this is costing us a fortune. This is costing us an absolute fortune. Why are we doing this? Oh, look, we've got a decent pretext to just get rid of him. So we're not the bad guys. Trump can be the bad guy. But just like with Colbert, we don't need this guy. He is dead weight on our network, and it's time for him to go. And this is what Trump, I think, accurately characterized. He tweeted, Truth Socialed, great news for America. Ratings challenged Jimmy Kimmel show is cancelled. Congratulations to ABC finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel had zero talent, that's true. And worse ratings even on Colbert, if that's possible, that's true. That leaves Jimmy and Seth two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. But he's not wrong. Their ratings are terrible. Like, if I, in my spare time, and with one YouTube channel that's just me, doing all of the production, all the video, and I can find numbers, viewing figures, comparable, again, unique audience figures, comparable to these guys, then these guys are really at the bottom of their game. You know, if they're getting like, if they're competing with me, and trust me, right, when it comes to like key demo, where's my audience metrics? There we go. Only sort of about 30% of my audience are outside of the key demo as well. So just saying, you guys are getting creamed, and you deserve to get creamed. I'm not making $15-20 million a year, obviously, but I am kicking their asses. And this is just me, right? This is just me. There are loads of other people, like, you know, the Quartering, Tim Pool, Stephen Crowder, blah 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 blah. Like, everyone on the right is kicking their asses, and they're just not profitable at all. And those networks are like, look, we've just got to cut this dead weight. Their time in the sun for these people is over. They were never very good anyway. I mean, no one's like, oh yeah, Jimmy Kimmel, he was our best and brightest. Their time in the sun is over, and a new star is rising, and it's not theirs.